We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine, to see what is going on. Happy 5-5 portal. We know that the number 5 represents change, but today is bringing a huge galactic energy. It's very, very powerful for us anchoring in these new frequencies. So let's go ahead and see what's going on for the divine feminine. I always remind you guys that this is always just a general collective reading, but I love to do these videos just hoping that I can give you some messages that'll help you on your journey. So only take what resonates for your specific situation, leave the rest. If you need a one-on-one reading, you guys know I do them. Any of the readings are phone or coaching are a phone call session. So I do twin flame readings and I also do twin flame coaching. I am an energy worker. I have a ton of healings and activations on my website to help you with your spiritual awakening. Make sure you check out my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com. If you need me, you just book me on there, that easy. So I am going to be working with the energies of the 5-5 portal. You guys know that's what I do. And I have some really, really nice twin flame ones on there. So I have a lot of stuff up for today and the next couple of days. And then I'm going to be gone. I'm actually going to Europe to be with my twin flame, but we're going to go to some sacred sites. So on one of these days, I'm going to have a couple activations up for probably the tour in Stonehenge. We'll see on that. So today's a really good day to find me if you guys want to be tapping into those 5-5 frequencies. They're always amazing. Now, some of the reasons we want to be doing energy work, obviously, for healing and taking care of our energy. So good. I was explaining we deal with a lot of things that can drain us on Earth and stress and things like that. So it can really help us whether you're needing a recharge or you're needing to heal a specific issue that you're working on or working through, or just really wanting to anchor these higher frequency light codes, which can really, really help us with our spiritual awakening. So when we do energy work, it helps us to integrate and we want to be connecting with these energies. So we have so much potential with a lot of these higher energy, we'll say activation days, gateway days, which is really, really powerful. So we want to be tapping into these energies and utilizing them can help us so much to elevate our energy, of course, and work on our energy and our frequency. And so we're feeling better. Okay, so, and if you guys need me, like I said, find me on my site. Okay, let's get started with the divine feminine to see what is going on, because a lot of you guys are navigating a lot during this time with things coming up. And I always explain this ascension awakening process. We're all going to have to go through it. Yes, every person on this planet is going through this process, and it brings a lot up. And it just kind of depends on the individual person as to what you're working through or working on in this lifetime, okay? So divine feminine, messages for the divine feminine collective, divine masculine, if you're watching, direct messages from your feminine. It's easier being with someone from my world. Okay, this isn't for everyone, but the difference between, and we've all had to navigate karmic relationships, soulmates, and even twin flame. And a lot of people love to, I don't want to say get confused, right? Because sometimes we don't even know, but you're gonna know. There's gonna be a lot of revealing happening in your life by how things go. So your karmic, they're very comfortable. Yes, it's more about usually finances, kids, homes, stuff like this that keeps you kind of, I want to say tied, connected to each other. But when people really soul search, it's usually the love at a certain point probably is gone and they stay for these other reasons, right? Maybe like a couple of reasons. It can be very hard because you can be very karmically entangled with this person, but usually the love isn't there if you really get honest and things like that. Now, this is a twin flame reading, so whoever this message is for, I take it you've met your twin flame or you probably wouldn't be tuning into this. Maybe not, some of you guys, and I was reminding myself of this the other day because I've been doing awakening videos for a really long time. And when I started doing these videos, a lot of people were not awake, right? And I'm like, oh, hi. And I kept putting this stuff out there. And I feel that with twin flame right now while I'm doing these videos, a lot of people are like, okay, whatever. But guess what? It's coming. So if you haven't met your person, you're gonna, within your awakening specifically and within your ascension, but many of you have, and that's who I do these videos for, because I'm always trying to help you guys navigate, because this can be very challenging, especially when maybe your friends and family and other people aren't getting what you're going through. I always put it out there, like if you're going to someone in a karmic connection for advice or, whatever, they're not going to be able to help you because they haven't done the work. And I know, and I hate to say that, this is the ascension work and things like that. So a lot of times people who are on the twin flame path, they're being guided to do a deep level of work. And I feel you had to do enough ascension work to get there and to be able to stay in balance and harmony with this person, as they tend to mirror whatever's going on within you, your belief system, whatever it is, and stuff like that. So it just kind of depends. So it can feel strange when you're going through this because you may or may not have a lot of support. Like I've learned, like my friend doesn't know anything I'm talking about. If I try to talk about it, they're like, no support there, right? And then I learned to not talk about it because it can trigger lack in people that are having relationship problems. They don't have a relationship. They don't know what they're talking about. They're stuck in a karmic connection. You know, they're obviously not going to be very open to being able to give you guidance going through this. But I have found that you guys will know what I'm talking about. You will find other twin flames. Like, I don't know how, must be magic, right? You're gonna probably find other people that are navigating either in union or navigating a twin flame connection around you, and they will come into your life. And this could be to give you guidance or to give you perspective or just to have some type of support and things like that. And so that's something I've noticed on the journey too. It's why I keep doing these videos, right? And stuff like that. But that's just how it is when we talk about love on planet Earth, because we have all this stuff that's programmed us to be like anything but that. So karmic connections, they're very, very easy. But if you do some soul searching, they're your comfort zone. They represent your south node. They represent your bad habits, traits, things you're trying to grow out of. Usually when you begin to do this spiritual awakening work, a lot of people wake up in these connections or wake up that they're still navigating these connections. I know that when I was going through my awakening, I still had karmic contracts to move through, but my awakening helped me to do that very fast. Like, right? Okay. So you may be in still, some of you guys, yes, even in the twin flame dynamic, some of you guys are navigating that, other connections, karmic contracts, whatever it is. It just depends on the individual soul. However, your awakening and doing your healing work will give you the tools needed to better handle stuff, okay? Well, I was not handling stuff good asleep, awake, handling it like a pro, right? And so it just kind of depends on your situation. Some of you guys are very comfortable with the karmics because they don't challenge you, they enable you, they don't push your buttons so much, right? They're probably right and stuff like that. Your twin flame is like, you know, they come in like a wrecking ball. Some of you guys feel they've kind of imploded your whole world and you have theirs or whatever it is. You know, it's a lot to handle because they are gonna, I want to say energetically pierce through all of the illusions that you're still living in if you are, and these are the ego, right? And so, you know, this real love rips apart the ego. It doesn't enable it and coax it. It literally shatters it on so many levels. And this is a stripping away. It's a healing process. It's a refinement process. And I'm bringing this up, and I'm going to be bringing this up because even though we're in these very high frequency galactic energies with today's 5-5 gateway, we've entered into Pluto retrograde, and there are things that you need to heal, release, and probably behaviors, patterns, how you're living your life, and ego narratives and things that have kept you stuck for a very long time. Some of you guys are releasing a lot of old programming from your family line. This could be lack, this could be relationship problems and all sorts of karma. And you're releasing karma from your love life. This is a big thing too, where this has impacted your love life, some of the programming that you picked up, and you're recoding in a powerful way. Your twin flame is here to help you to do that. But this is not always a 3D connection. I see so many twin flames. They might come in and out of your reality. They might push you past your, I don't want to say break you away. They might push you to really, really go into these ego layers and deaths and, you know, purges and cleanse. And this is always cleansing. This is always releasing and healing. But I always remind you, this is your little reminder that this is a powerful, transformative process on the energy level. So sometimes we can't always see everything going on in the physical, the bigger spiritual picture of it. This is something that is meant to heal you, but also meant to help you for your ascension. So these are powerful connections within your ascension, and that you're both supposed to be helping each other with your ascension, and that takes first place, okay? And so this is a powerful connection, but each of you have to be working on your ascension and doing your ascension work. The universe is always helping you with your lessons and has it under control with all of this stuff too. So this is about the divine feminine lately. I keep talking about getting in your highest alignment. This could be becoming much more yourself, much more authentic, shifting into your highest frequency, really getting control of your emotions and your moods and your energy so that, you're cleaning up your energy. This could be assessing people in your life, your job, everything within your awakening, because we go through a huge transformation. It might not be overnight, but you're going to notice you're being guided, I hate this word, to make subtle changes. This could be just cleaning up your diet or your food, or getting rid of bad spending habits or negative people and or whatever it is, or cutting family connections that are bad for you, or whatever it is. You're being guided on a spiritual and a soul level to just kind of get into this soul-based or soul higher alignment, whatever that looks like for you too. So you're comfortable in certain lower patterns, let's get real. And this is pushing you higher, and it takes you right outside your comfort zone, most likely, this connection in some type of way, okay? Can you let go of the past and forgive me? Can you trust me again with your heart? So you're needing to open up your heart, obviously, to source and the spiritual, but to this person, to this connection. Now, many twin flames go through very hurtful, this could be, I say stories, narratives, how things went, karmic situations, other people. I can name so many different things. Other people could get in the way. We call these third parties, other connections. It could be family. It could just be situations and the universe. Or it wasn't time yet and you weren't ready to come together. Whatever these stories are, but I see a lot of patterns. Sometimes they're not great. I call these the karmic timelines that you guys are on. Usually it starts out amazing. I call that the love bubble and amazing things like that. But usually this is where the issues come up to be worked out. When a lot of times twin flames end up in separations, and oftentimes these might be, and you're not gonna like this, divinely orchestrated, even like some things in our life to get you to heal or to heal things. And both of you have different things to heal on each side. It just kind of depends, but these are the other timelines that you may have played out with this person that might not have been great. And they could have been helping, yes, you right here, you to clear karmic blocks and issues from previous encounters in your own life, or it could go deep into past lifetimes, but oftentimes it's right here in this life. And so if you get honest, whoever's watching this video, right? If you get honest with yourself, are there patterns? Have you been through this before, whatever your twin flame did with you? Is it similar to karmics in the past or things that might come up? Is it triggering familiar patterns within yourself? And so I see a lot of times people have issues anyway, and then the twin flame comes along and they trigger the same issues. Are there issues that it's triggered so you could get more clear on what those issues are so that you could heal them? Has it brought out shadow aspects, Pluto retrograde, right? Has it brought out shadow aspects or darker aspects that need to be transmuted into light or dealt with on an energy level or a healing level? Has it shown you, I call it like, I don't want to say weaknesses, because your twin flame will show you both your strengths and your weaknesses, but things you need to work on more, because this is all about refinement with today's 5-5 portal energies. In separation, there's issues you need to work on by yourself so that you guys can come together, a better match, and it's coming. Like a lot of you guys are kind of, it is happening, it is coming. Don't give up on your person or your situation. In fact, your positive energy and manifestations will align this much faster. In union, it might be shining a light, today's 5-5 porthole, on issues and things that you need to still work through. There's always more work to be done. And so it could be bringing up imbalances and things you need to kind of work through. I look at separation as like a reflection space, and it's a time, usually the shadows pop up when you're by yourself and you don't have this person to, distract you or fill you energetically. And it makes you go deeper into layers of yourself that generally people wouldn't have without the twin flame dynamic or whatever it is too. So everyone's at different places. Everyone has their own kind of unique journey. And I always remind you guys of that. But there might be stuff coming up within these energies lately that you're kind of being made aware of. I'm haunted by us. I didn't follow my heart, and now I don't know how to let you go. So this is, if you've had to let go of your twin flame recently, is this something that you've just done for the first time? Because most of the twin flames that I'm working with might have had to do this multiple times. And so these might be like mini separations or separation if you're in a separation. And I tell you this because you're supposed to heal the past and let go of it so you can start over with this person. Are you able to start over like you just met them? Like, right? I always say that. and like start over without bringing up the past or the past hurtful things that have happened and bringing them up again and replaying them, because this indicates a block, because all twin flames do have lower karmic timelines that they're probably going to have to collapse out. Even in union, I see a lot of twin flames having to navigate that, where you guys are kind of flipping around and, you know, you're having to let go of things or old timelines during this time. Try to let go of the past or any old timelines that might be still blocking you in the now, and you'll know when you're ready, because you'll have processed that within yourself. Oftentimes, sometimes the divine feminine stores a lot of abandonment, grief, and heartache from however things went, but it was always triggered so you could notice and heal your attachment wounding and, you know, things like that, or your own inner insecurity, so that you could connect on a healthier level. And this doesn't just go into your twin flame dynamic. Many of you guys are being guided to learn how to really connect with others more healthy. I mean, like all of your connections, you're being guided to really learn about your own energy and how to come together a little bit more healthy with people in all of your connections. Oftentimes when your twin flames trigger things, it's shown you unhealthy attachment or connection dynamics that you still might need to heal a little bit too. So use this connection to help you to learn, grow, and work on your energy. Okay, so we have unawakened. Okay, some of you guys are still awakening. This is like ego aspects, but this is like healing your shadow, inner darkness. Maybe you or your twin flame isn't ready yet, and if they aren't, it's you. It's always a mirroring. Now, most of the twin flames that I am working with currently in separation have been pulled back temporarily, and they always you kind of have a timeline. And things like that. And so this is where, if you're not sure, getting like a psychic reading with me will help you to kind of see what's going on and what your timelines look like. But so I know a lot of them have timelines, but a lot of you guys have other stuff that you're dealing with, like whatever it is in your life, getting more stable solo so that you can bring that energy into the connection. And it's never by choice. It's always, you know, the universe, I always say, and learning how to flow with the universe. And so if in separation, make sure you're continuing to work on you and your own life, whatever's kind of coming up. Follow your guidance as to that. If you need help with this, I'm always around for readings. You guys know that. And they'll always give you clarity and insight into where you're at now, as things are always changing and moving around based on what's kind of going on. Okay, so you might be in a runner situation. I'm always trying to work with people who get stuck in those kind of loops. If you feel that your DM, your divine masculine, is going avoidant, going runner, and there's so many behaviors that go with the runner pattern. This could just be avoiding, not talking to you within another connection. When we deal with third parties, sometimes that's actually like, I say, avoidant pattern and things and stuff like that. Putting distance in the connection, not talking, not communicating. So much can go into this. And so a lot of times I always believe it's subconscious being triggered on their side into that pattern. It's like their fight or flight is getting triggered by this connection, their own fear, things like that. And it's always an unconscious energy thing from the signals. A lot of people are like this, the divine feminine sending out. Oftentimes it just kind of depends. So the best thing divine feminine can do to shift your energy first to help shift their side, because you're going to shift their side from your side, is to work on grounding, focusing on yourself. If you've been putting too much energy to the other person, it's always fine when it's love energy. Like if you're thinking about them, obviously that happens. Especially with twin flames, you oftentimes can't get them off your mind. Like it's always like they're there in the background, and that's the connection, especially when you really, really connect and your chakras connect, okay? So that's normal, and it's hard to navigate. It's why a lot of times you guys might go through these spaces or whatever's kind of going on. And so it just depends. The best thing you can do is to ground and work on your energy and stay more secure in your own energy, because that's going to call them home to you or back to you. But when you're in any type of chaser energy, which is basically, I can always recognize it, very ungrounded and frantic energy, or very obsessive, over texting, calling with little response or whatever it is, you've got to shift out of that, because it's exactly what kicks in their runner pattern subconsciously from the energy dynamic on their side, and oftentimes they don't even know. So it's like a very unconscious, subconscious reaction to the energy being transmitted or put out. So when you do heal, they'll come to you or come back to you if you're in this kind of situation. So if you find you're going into these cycles, don't do what the anxious type does, which is doubling down and trying to get their attention and things like that. See that this is a connection where I told someone you're probably gonna have a little bit more time by yourself. That could be a good thing. I was using that time to like build a business and do other things, right? And I know. So utilize your time when you have that space. You can use it for healing, working on your business, projects, job, house, clean it up. Oh my God, doing things you enjoy. I'm always giving people cute little tips, like maybe watching shows they hate, like making food that you love, whatever it is, get a pet, like, right? But learning that is healthy, that you guys are actually having that space so the universe can bring you together in healthier dynamic that's less codependent, less needy, and things like that. So you guys have a little bit of time to maybe pursue your hobbies, other connections, and things like that in a healthy way. So if you feel that this person has been in this loop with you, just try to pull back and work on yourself and see that the universe does this because you're not ready generally. And a lot of people are like, I'm ready. And then they go through another ego layer. And they will be ready when you are. And I think this is something that you're going to know energetically because you're in this inner union. And you're realizing that, wow, you're in alignment. You're in this inner union. And then that manifests, or you could say reflects into the outer. This person is always literally a mirror reflection of your own soul, but a lot of people are so disconnected nowadays, I don't think they even recognize their own soul. So the more you sit with your own soul and bring that through and connect with your soul, that you're going to connect with this person too. If you're apart, not everyone is. Most of the flames I help are in union or teetering around union. But if you're apart right now, make sure that you're doing that work. I have a lot of beautiful healings to help you to get through this part or whatever it is, to shift things too. So you can always do energy work. This will help speed up things and help you with your energy and help you with any negative energy that's surfacing or within the connection. And remember, I always remind you, it only takes one twin flame to shift the energy for both. Okay, so this is a mirror. So this is always a reflection, this person, and pay attention because sometimes we see things we love, sometimes we see things that we don't love, right, from their energy. It can bring up things within, like triggers and wounds and old situations that we need to deal with, or even things that they're showing us outside of ourselves that can make us uncomfortable or not feel great with this connection, to help us to do the inner work. There's going to be some level of purging that may happen around this connection, and I always feel this is to help you with your awakening and with your ascension. That would be happening with or without the twin flame, if you get honest with yourself, through your experiences, to help you with your awakening and with your ascension, and to release stuck, blocked energy, or to point out or highlight things. So this can make you a little sensitive when you're around your twin flame. And then a lot of you guys might be still being triggered in their presence and bringing things up. And then I always know there's more things to be worked out or worked through, because their presence will no longer trigger you, and you guys are going to be like, feeling really, really good back in the love bubble generally. So oftentimes their energy alone can trigger you and make you a little bit sensitive, needing to kind of integrate, we'll say maybe interactions or seeing them or whatever's kind of coming up during this time, but powerful for cleansing you and helping you to clear energy. That's why I always recommend tons of energy clearing work anyways, to help you take care of your energy. So if you have things coming up that can be happening with Pluto retrograde, make sure you're doing more clearing work. Hey, kitty. Okay, so we have heart, home, and compassion. These Pleiadian energies and the energies of the 5-5 portal are really, really powerful for opening your heart chakra and bringing more empathy, compassion, and understanding into your life and into your love life right now. Perhaps you have some type of old wounds around the heart chakra, or ways you need to open up your heart. So we get hurt, we close our heart like a swinging door at the walls, right? Okay, we need to break down these barriers, very Pisces energies, break down these barriers and walls, and and then yesterday we had a lot of, well, this week we'll say we have a lot of Saturn energy, and it's like walls, boundaries. But Pisces is like the opposite. It's like opening up and dissolving barriers and things like that. And this is what twin flames are doing, because there's been many lifetimes where your souls have journeyed together, you've traveled together, but you've been in all types of situations that, that divine masculine, feminine divide. And so it's like healing the heart chakra, but opening up the heart chakra specifically to this connection in some type of way. So perhaps there could have been some hurt in the connection, or you're feeling hurt, by however things have gone or come up, needing to heal your heart chakra and open your heart to this person, and specifically to those twin flame energies and the connection, okay? And we have hollow bone teachability. And these are my shaman cards I brought today. They're like dreaming deck, but I really like them anyways. I thought they'd be perfect for today. So make sure that you are staying open to learn. This person is also your teacher. You're like, oh no, they are, just like many people in our lifetime have been our karmic teachers and things like that. But this is a connection where they're meant to help you to point out any ways you might be resistant to this connection or unconditional love. Stay open to this connection. They're bringing valuable lessons into your life. The awakened divine masculine is a powerful teacher and a guide, and they can help you on many, layers, many levels of your journey to, highlight things for you or to open you up. And this is like the bringing together of opposites. They might be super opposite to you in many different ways. This could be lifestyle or, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's all about kind of meeting in the middle and coming together. This is, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but I love the twin flame teachings because they've always been with us throughout time. This is the bringing together of the higher spiritual, the divine feminine and masculine of one soul coming into unity and balance. And this is what really unlocks things and activates things. And you guys know from glimpses of when you've been with the twin flame, if you're in separation from the love bubble, or those in union, you know how powerful it is when you guys are together and you begin to make future plans or talk about things. It literally brings that next level of your template into focus. And I had something like this happening with my twin flame, that through our time together, I have now got clarity on some goals I want to do in the future, right? And probably would be stuff I probably wouldn't have had that idea for without their, we'll say energetic input and being around me and talking about things, right? So when you guys are together and you begin to make plans, and this could be plans for your life, projects, doing things together, whatever it is, it really begins to activate and bring into focus these higher levels of your blueprint and template, and to bring them online, because maybe it's that energy encoded that really activates it and brings this stuff into focus and opens up opportunity and potential that wasn't there before from your shared energy. Twin flames are powerful together. Oftentimes you guys are actually here, I always talk about this, probably for a shared mission or purpose. And I said this will make a lot of you guys uncomfortable. Time to step into that light worker leadership. Right? This is our planet and we got a lot going on, and making it a better place. And a lot of times you and your twin flame on that higher level, you guys are going to be doing something powerful together. And so this is why you really, really need to be healed. Everyone always tries to skip that, right? I don't know why. It's like the shadows, right? But until you heal unconsciously, you'll continue to bring the same issues. It's like, I always describe it like you're walking around with two suitcases, all your inner child drama, relationship drama, whatever it is. It's all your problems. And if you don't heal, you're going to bring them into your next relationship, your next job, right? Your next friendship. And so it's like your twin flame is here to help motivate you to do your ascension work and to heal. And so for those of you guys in separation, they are the carrot. I always describe it as the little carrot that you want, and that they are right there to get you to do what you need to do, because when you've done the work, you'll be in union and things like that. So they're here to motivate you, even though it doesn't always feel like that, because yes, they're probably going to trigger you in a way that karmics, they trigger you and go. They start out great, it becomes unhealthy, you go. But the twin flame generally may push your buttons on some level so that you can level up Okay, so winter's dream, gestation period. So I always describe this is my cocoon card, right? Now I love this because I was posting the spiral shells the other day and saying that healing is literally a spiral. And I was posting like little seashell pictures, but it's almost like a spiral winding staircase. And that you ever notice you're healing the same themes in your lifetime, and these go down to inner child wounds and deeper programming, and that you have the same things coming up. And I noticed this, it took me until I was well into a certain age to be like, okay, I was telling some of my family member, I said I wouldn't keep bringing it up, but I keep having the same experiences in lessons, people, situations. And this is what can help you to put together the deeper patterns and pieces of your life so that you can truly heal, to release things that you need to heal karmically, so you can step outside of some of the bigger cycles of your life. Your life has been happening in cycles. And if you've had repeating cycles, it's because you need to get certain lessons so that you can move forward or to heal something karmically. And so sometimes we don't even notice, but this could be patterns that we're creating on and beliefs that we're creating on. So we keep creating things no longer serving us and not really aligned or good for us, and victim consciousness. Or it could be things that we're attracting out of wounding because the universe thinks we need to heal things more or to work on certain issues. And every single connection we have is to help us to heal something and to work through something karmically in our life. And so the more that we heal, the more that we can release situations, people, things that we're going to attract. They're no longer going to be attracted to you. They're probably going to be repelled by your higher frequency. And we begin to really, really elevate. And so this is not like, you'll always think, okay, I'm great, I'm healed and things like that, until, you go through, oh my God, your twin flame comes in and triggers all your old stuff. That's a good example, right? In other situations, but this is a twin flame reading, so you thought you were healed until they show you how unhealed you are when they, abandon the connection or whatever it is, to show you your own self-abandonment wounds or whatever it is coming up specifically for you too. So we're continuing to heal whatever it is, and this might be having to revisit old issues. And I see this with ascension, like you think you're fine and you go through something, and especially when I was going through the twin flame stuff, it was very familiar, some of the things that were coming up from my past. So it could be that, but it could be literally like you're just sitting around, you're sitting around your house and you're having memories come up from the past. And this is huge from ascension, but they might be pertaining to something in your life now, or it might be something that you're needing to go deeper into, or whatever it is, especially if the twin flame is mirroring, keyword mirroring, old dynamics to you in some type of way, whether this is previous relationships or even childhood wounds and dynamics that you need to go more into. They might be highlighting old stuff with their behavior. It might be familiar to you, whatever it is. Okay, Queen of Wands. This is like getting in that fire energy. So some of you guys are staying busy, but and this could be, I don't want to call it avoidance pattern, but sometimes when we stay busy, we don't have to deal with our own issues. Okay, you got a lot of really high energy right now. Make sure you're channeling it in a productive way. We have the Queen of Wands, so this is like avoid drama. Like your life depends on it. But yes, it can have a dramatic flair to it. Maybe things have been a little dramatic with you and your person, or even on an individual. Maybe you're clearing something. I always think of drama as negative energy or stuff you're clearing. So you might be kind of doing some clearing work. Some of you guys have been a little bit sad and letting go of things. So don't focus on loss. And this could be heartbreak, emotional baggage, feeling abandonment, whatever it is. Now, some of you guys, this could be separation and thinking you lost your person. That's never going to happen. It's like, okay. And you might have gone through that a couple of times. And I don't know how many times people have to go through it to realize it's just temporary in the scope of things, right? And they'll come back in when you're ready. But every time it feels final, right? When you go through that. Now, it doesn't have to be that. We're actually going through a lot where it's like the old earth is a wrap. Trust me on that. And we're integrating into the 5D, but we have such a view of both the old and the new earth, right? And we're being guided to stay anchored into the 5D, but our way of life is changing. Our society is changing. Everything in your life is up for reassessment. Everything, like friendships, family, we just talked about this. And, you're being guided to spend more time alone, working on yourself, your own hobbies, projects. We talked about this. So there's a little bit of maybe a sad energy, but this is a twin flame reading. So it's something within the connection. And I don't know what it is. Some of you guys might be navigating, you or your partner being a little depressed. I don't want to use the word because depressed is energy coming up for clearing and things we need to heal or whatever it is. But this is just heartbreak. And it just depends on for what. So once again, heart chakra coming up and clearing any negative energies, or continuing to clear and work through any negative energies. So we have the Six of Swords. This is my favorite, generally upright, but there's a block here. And like maybe you're not seeing a lot of movement or progress, and it just kind of depends. But you and this person have unfinished business together. That's an understatement, right? So my example of this is anyone in separation knows it's just kind of left open. Okay, now in union 2, so when I see unfinished business, something karmically coming up to heal, it's been something been throwing off your union lately for those in union, something coming up to look at. It could just be old energies. And so ascension is literally healing your entire lifetime and many lifetimes, but at the least your entire lifetime here on earth. So it could be old baggage coming up for you or your twin flame that you need to heal. I always say, if you're looking for clues, you can always pay attention to what they're healing, and it'll help you with your side, okay? Okay, sorry, my cat is... Okay, so we're going to do a reading really quick for the Divine Masculine, just to see what's going on if my cat isn't eating all the cards. Hey, kitty. Sup? Okay, Divine Masculine side of things, Divine Feminine, if you're watching direct messages from your Masculine Collective. I hid my true self from you because you challenged me to expand. And remember, they're also going through every emotion you've ever felt, Divine Feminine. Okay, they're going through all of this. I always recommend the Divine Masculine to get outside, spend time in nature, spend time solo. This will help you. And they might have had their own insecurities. And I hate to say this, but oftentimes men might even have more hang-ups. I know, but they love to act cocky and confident. Not everyone. Maybe this is your masculine, right? But internally, yeah. So they're going through the same exact process. And sometimes some of these Divine Feminines I see are just so hard on their Divine Masculine, not trusting that the Divine Masculine, they are awake. They are more awake than you think. They get their guidance on what to do, and they're healing their issues too, okay? So sometimes they need more grace and compassion from the Divine Feminine side, and to get out of the lens so you can actually see things as they are on the Divine Feminine side. Divine Masculine side being more open. However, sometimes people can be a little standoffish depending on how things are doing. You can't force openness, right? So this Divine Masculine may be being guided to open up more to either your Divine Feminine's love and healing or energy, or even just this connection on some type of level. Is this something that you are trying to be like dismissive or closed off about or set aside? Just kind of depends. Okay, I've committed to someone else because they don't challenge me. This isn't for everyone, but some of you guys are dealing with, maybe you never made it fully into union yet, and maybe you're both single. Like, yes, this can happen. It's Earth, right? And it just depends on what your soul is giving you guys. Please remember, no matter how things look, this is all to help you guys to heal certain things or whatever it is. I know twin flames that were together and they split, they go to other people, they never made it together, they were other people. There can be existing marriages, connections, all sorts of things that can play out. It just kind of depends, right? And especially karmically, because a lot of every other relationship in your life other than twin flame has a lot of karmic undertones of how we attract these relationships, karmic debt, things like that, whatever it is, past life vows with other partners. It just kind of depends, especially with marriages and things. It gets kind of convoluted. So this isn't for everyone, but perhaps some of you guys are navigating some type of third-party energy. Third-party energy could be other partners, but it also could just be friends, family, or even karmic blocks, karmic wounds from the past that are preventing progress. I feel like you're on the other side of my every breath. This person feels you and feels your energy, literally. Divine Masculine feels the feminine. You feel their moods, you feel their energy, things unspoken. You know what's going on with them, and you know what's coming up for them. So the masculine is going through a huge release. Loosen your hold, relax, unwind, release fear, anxiety, and doubt. So this is healing some type of fear, worry, doubt. Your twin flame will usually amplify these types of energies, especially if you get honest. They're not bringing it up. It was something already there, some type of distortion or some type of inner work that you're needing to do. So it can be normal that it can trigger negative beliefs, doubts, worries, fears, and things on the mental level. Remember that any imbalances in the mind, and we see a lot of that in our culture, generally are connected to energy imbalances and blocks. The more clear and open your energy is and the more aligned your energy is, your mind should be too. So if you're having racing thoughts, anxiety, trouble sleeping, stressed out, just know that that can be amplified with these energies, and it can bring things to the surface and very, very fast. Now, this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys are in union, planning on being in union in a minute, or marriage. This is like on the legal sense. So this is like next level of commitment. Maybe some of you guys talk about getting married or have plans to get married. Yes, twin flames can get married and have children and have pretty normal relationships, especially as you guys have healed any of the imbalances or issues keeping you apart. So this isn't for everyone, but some of you guys, we're going to see some of these, and I'm excited about it. Some of you guys are going to be getting engaged, getting married, and maybe even having children. It just kind of depends, okay? Just remember that. I believe there are spiritual contracts in our life to keep us on course. Okay, we have memories. This is nostalgia, repetition, attachment, and releasing the past. Let it go. We've seen some of these masculines have actually had like karmic exes come up from their past, like ran into them somewhere. Oh my God, I was saying social media. We live in a digital world, which is okay, but it's like, your second grade classmate can find you. All your ex-partners could look you up and stalk you if they wanted. And so we also have this, it can bring back people from the past living in a digital age and things like that. That's why I do always recommend cleaning up your social media as part of your energy, by the way. So, it's things we're bringing into our field and things like that. We don't want to be scrolling, your partner from 10 years ago broke your heart, ripped your heart out as your karmics, new husband and family or whatever, or worse yet, they're single and pursuing you still or stalking you. So, and I know these are bad examples, but there's something from your past that might be coming up recently. This could just be old memories and you're sitting around thinking about, whatever. That can be normal as we're releasing and clearing a lot of energy. Memories come up, but it could be people from your past popping up too. It just kind of depends. Something you need to release from your past. Yes, connected with heartbreak, hurt, and things like that. So if something's coming up currently or has been, do a good decluttering of your energy field. This will help. Tidy house, clarity and organization. And I love this because we have a lot of energy. A lot of people are cocooning and kind of going within and going inside. Maybe you're being guided to declutter and clean up your personal space. This makes you feel a lot better. I love it. This is a great time to be saging your house, wiping everything down. Do the dusty corners. So maybe spraying things with some Florida water, maybe doing an energy clearing on your house. I do tons of energy clearings on people's homes. Yeah, needed. So maybe just being guided to, and I love the orb going. Okay, little angel. Anyways, maybe being guided to like clean up and declutter your space so that you're feeling better. This could be getting rid of things, whatever it is. Dust devil, moving out of stagnation. Once again, clearing your energy and the energy of your home really, really helps you to release stagnation. If you felt like things aren't moving, how do we know when we have blocked energy? Things are not going good at your job. You're not making as much money as you could be. Now, the thing is, we're used to that. And so when we clear our energy, we start to make more money at work, get a raise, get noticed. And same with our relationships. If things are not going good, they're going negative, you're not getting along, they're not where you want to be, you start to clear your energy, get rid of the blocks, you start to do a lot better with it. So sometimes we reach points of blocks, and I do feel like it's not anything that we're doing generally. And so when we feel like, and that's how our path could feel, like little obstacle here, like an obstacle course, block coming here, closed door here, this happened here, and we're having to navigate so much going through our everyday path. But this is always a reflection of our inner state, our thoughts and things like that. And we don't like to hear this, but we're creating every second of it. So when we do that, more aligned and less blocked, we do a better job. So this could be, sometimes we actually came real blocked up and didn't notice, and we're living mediocre 3D lives. And as we're waking up, we're being guided to work on our energy, to release attachments and to release blocks and to go higher, so we can up level a lot of things in our external reality as well too, the more that we're aligned and open and things like that too. So you might be focusing or facing some type of stagnicity. This could be things not moving, things not progressing, and we love, our ego will keep us stagnant if it has its way. It'll guide you into those places and like things aren't moving. I know. Ego's like, just sit there and do nothing, right? This is procrastination, not getting much done, not getting results, and ego states and things like that. So our ego loves to guide us to these spaces, but we need to stay flowing, progressing. And when we know we're flowing and we're unblocked, we're seeing little signs and little reminders and things progressing, we could say. Okay, caterpillar, opportunity. Take all the time that you need to heal. And this is for you. A lot of you guys, you come together with your twin flame, but at highlighted areas you weren't ready. And the universe is trying to help you to be ready. Whether that was how you felt, you knew you were a mess, you knew you weren't energetically ready, if you get honest with yourself. And this is like really healing yourself. Maybe you're even, and this is like, it's not always separation. Some people are in union and still live together separately because they need that space before moving in together. It could be separation where you're kind of in your own little cocoon, I call it. But you're going to notice a lot of twin flames go into that cocoon. Usually something got triggered, and it could be a hurt or something, and you're back in the cocoon and kind of taking care of yourself kind of energy. And so this is like cocoon energy. Take all the time that you need to heal. This is my Four of Wands. Many of you guys are going to have happy reunion, and this could be even union. And once again, that marriage, sacred union kind of card. This is our beautiful 5-5 portal, which has a lot to do with balance between the divine feminine and sacred marriage, sacred union. So this is a beautiful reminder. Maybe some of you guys are navigating separation. Do the work. Reunion's right around the corner. Maybe some of you guys are in union. Beautiful union. This could be bringing children into it or just creating a beautiful reality together. My Seven of Cups in reality. This is, some of you guys are getting a reality check and clarity. And this is like, maybe you're feeling like you messed things up, missed an opportunity, or you're just not growing spiritually. We talked about being stagnant. And so usually this is like having a million options and things like that. Maybe you're getting some type of karmic reality check kind of energy, or something karmic going on for you that you need to heal or face or whatever it is. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and this is like, usually this is my, he comes in really, really fast and is patient. Some of you guys are staying in karmic situations that are not very good for you or that you've outgrown, but over money. And it could be how things look. A lot of times people stay in marriages that are like, they look really nice and they look really good, but right? They're just for show at that point. They're ego attainments. Now the problem is when we strip away these relationships, jobs, situations that are no longer serving us, we have to recreate and find our identity and who we are again. And so this is where sometimes we stay in attachment or karmic situations for these reasons. I know a lot of people are not happy in their relationships and marriages, and they've basically become roommates living together, but they don't separate over money or having to split up assets or children or child support and many different reasons. But this is everything but love, and is probably blocking your happiness and true spiritual awakening or alignment on some type of level, right? And stuff like that. So this is like my show off kind of, look at me and my relationship so great, but it's some type of block because this is a twin flame reading. So for some, this could even be other situations, or just being more focused on your job or money or the material or whatever it is too. So there's some type of block on this masculine side specifically, not sure what it could be whatever, but something connected with trying to stay in the 3D or prevent awakening. And we love to stay asleep. We created these realities, right? I know, no one put us to sleep. It's what we chose to create out of the ego state. So in order to really wake up and to align with creating a higher reality with our twin flame, we have to go through this space of ego death and releasing and letting go of things if it's no longer serving us. So some type of block here, not sure what, but around money. This could be financial issues. So when we don't do the real work or healing work, sometimes we're struggling with lack or worry about money, or business isn't going great or whatever it is, and maybe needing to heal something with the sacral there, because this is a pentacle card. with that energy. Remember, the sacral is very connected to water and our emotions and flowing, and also the divine feminine, right? So maybe needing to heal something there. It just kind of depends on what. This could be some reprogramming, rewiring things, or even needing to do the work to, we'll say, get in union or to stay in a happy union. Okay, I'm going on that note. Anyways, I am around. Book your twin flame sessions. I have twin flame readings, twin flame coaching to help you heal your attachment style, and of course, about 1 million twin flame healings on my website. Flip through them, go with what you're guided. You can do them as often as you need them. Maybe you just need a shift. You're wanting to feel better, clearing energy, tons of stuff on my website. Check it out, sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. Have a beautiful day.